What's good, Lakers Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Lakers Corner, where we talk all things Lakers. If you're a returner, you already know what the deal is. If you're new, welcome to the family. Make sure to smash that subscribe button, leave a nice comment down below, and let's get into this video, man. So on Tuesday, April 16th, the Lakers beat the Pelicans 110-106, securing the 7th seed, which means that we will face the Denver Nuggets in the first round of the NBA playoffs for that 2-7 matchup. And game one is Saturday, April 20th. So prior to the series starting, I wanted to get into a quick series preview video. So in this video, we're going to get into what the Lakers have to do to win this series. We're going to get into some game film, talk about the X factors, talk about some of these matchups, and some game plans. And then ultimately at the end, I will have my predictions. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the end to hear my predictions for this series. So first things first, y'all, I'm glad that the Lakers did not duck smoke and try to lose to the Pelicans on purpose just to avoid the Denver Nuggets. I understand the theory behind, what some people were saying, which is, lose to the Pelicans and then face the winner of Kings and Warriors, which ended up being the Kings, just to try to get that 8th seed. But in my opinion, you can't guarantee that you would have beat the Kings because the Kings ended up beating the Warriors. And also, you are going to have to go through Denver eventually if you want to get to where you want to get to, which is where? Win a championship, raise another banner. So there's no point in ducking smoke. We might as well play the Denver Nuggets when we're fully healthy. I know last year when we faced the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals, health was something that played against us. Fatigue played against us. And I think that it could play for us, but it could also play against us. And with us having a 39-year-old LeBron James, us having an injury-prone Anthony Davis, who, yes, he's been healthy this season, but we cannot just disregard the past 9 to 10 seasons where he hasn't been healthy. So I say all that to say, I think it's better that we just went ahead and handled the Pelicans like how we've been doing all season long. And now we have Denver, game one, April 20th. So what I want to do, y'all, after we got that out the way, because I ain't gonna lie, I had to get that out the way because I think that was just crazy to say we should purposely lose. But now that we got that out the way, let's get into some of the, the stats and facts from this series. So, the last 8 times that we've played the Denver Nuggets, they've won in those last 8 games. The Denver Nuggets big two, they've really been dominant. Jamal Murray, he's averaging 29 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Nikola Jokic is averaging 26 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists. So he's averaging a triple-double for those last 8 games. While for the Lakers, their big two, they've been there, which LeBron James averaging 26 points per game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Anthony Davis, 22 points per game, 13 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. So as you can see, LeBron and Anthony Davis, they've been dominant. They've been stepping up, but it's really been the other guys for the Lakers who have struggled to play big-time minutes and struggled to provide big minutes for the Lakers. But that's more of a game plan, so we'll get into that a little bit later in the video. For the Lakers, again, like a series matchup head-to-head, last time we beat them was April of 2022. So this was a very long time ago that we beat them. So we're definitely the underdogs coming into the series. But you know what they say, man. Where there is a will, there is a way. And you may be at home asking yourself, John, what way is there? Now let's go ahead and get into that, man. This is the game plan part of the video. We're going to go ahead and get into what the Lakers should game plan for this series. And I want to start by saying that you can't shut down Jokic, okay? You can't shut down Jokic. You can't shut down great players. All you can try to do is minimize their effect that they have in the game, and that's what my game plan intends on doing. So I had to say that before I get people in the comments trying to rip me saying, "Yo, you're not gonna stop Jokic like that. You're not gonna stop Jokic like that." I'm not trying to stop Jokic because you just got to accept that you can't stop him, but you want to minimize them. And I want to start on the offensive end first, y'all. So let's go ahead and start on the offensive end, then we'll get to the defensive end as to what our game plan should be. And I think that there's a lot that the Lakers need to do, but I think the number one and most important thing that the Lakers have to do in this series is constantly attack Jokic. We have to get him as tired as possible. Like, we have to make him work on the defensive end so he has less energy to expand on the offensive end. And I mean all types of ways, right? I think that, you know, Anthony Davis in that low post, just going shoulder to shoulder and going bang, going a body to body against Jokic. We got to do that. We got to get very, very, very physical with him, which is very unfortunate because the team, very unfortunate roster construction wise, because, you know, the team in 2020 that was able to get very physical with him, we unfortunately don't have those players, the Dwights, the JaVales. We don't have those bigs that can just go, you know, bang for bang with Jokic. And Jokic just came out and said that was the reason why actually he struggled against the Lakers in 2020, was because of how many players that we had and how many different looks we could throw at him and how physical we could be with him. Now this year we only have Anthony Davis to be physical with him. You can blame Rob Pelinka, you can blame Jeannie Buss, you can blame Lakers roster construction. Another thing that the Lakers really need to focus on offensive end is whoever that Jokic is guarding, they have to set a lot of high and strong pick and rolls so that we can force Jokic to get the switch, and then now Jokic has to guard whoever our guard is with the ball, which will most likely be, you know, LeBron or D'Lo or AR, because then we can get these guards running around. Let's have them running around. If we get that switch, if we force the defense to switch, which will be all on the Lakers big man to set a good, nice, high and strong pick so that the defense can't get over it, and then that forces the defense to have to switch. That means Jokic then is now guarding one of our guards, and I would like our chances of one of our guards being quicker on their feet, being able to get downhill, and just force Jokic to expand all of his energy on the defensive end, man. And again, I talk about the unfortunate-nism. I don't even know if that's a word, but I talk about how it's unfortunate that our roster just simply not built to do this, because realistically, the only player that I can really trust on this team to set a high, good, strong pick and roll would be Anthony Davis. Now, I know Hayes sometimes, you know, set some good, solid high picks and rolls to the hoop, but I don't know if they'll be strong enough to where, you know, if whoever it is out there that's on the perimeter for the Denver Nuggets, I don't know if they will be able to. I think that they'll be able to get over that screen of Hayes. Like I said, man, very unfortunate that we don't have that same roster construction that won us a championship, man. That won us a championship. But let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Let's get to the next important thing that we got to do offensively, and that's be active, man. I'm talking about a whole lot of off-ball cuts. We cannot have ball watching. The Lakers, sometimes their offense really struggles with just getting very stagnant and just watching LeBron James and Anthony Davis run a pick and roll, and the rest of the players on the court are just ball watching. We cannot have that happen, man. We got to have a whole lot of off-ball cuts, a lot of backdoor cuts. That's going to do a couple things, man. So that's one, going to get Jokic even more tired, because now he has to constantly watch the cutter who's cutting all over the place, all over the court, and he's got to watch the ball throughout the game, throughout a 7-game series. That's going to get him more tired. And it's going to get us a lot of easy buckets, man. I mean, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you feel about LeBron James, the man has great IQ, great vision, and he's a great passer. So just go ahead and cut all around the court, and that should definitely get us some easy buckets. So that'll be the second most important thing that we have to do on the offensive end. And then the third most important thing that we got to do on the offensive end, y'all, is we got to live by the three, but not die by the three-point line. And what I mean by that is, you know, if we're shooting well, great. Let's go ahead and keep it going. You know, there's some games where D'Angelo Russell can't miss. There's some games where Austin Reeves can't miss. There's some games where LeBron can't miss, and we just cannot miss from three. But there are also some games where the Lakers try to live and die by the three-point line. So if they're not hitting, they just continue to force them up. We got to be able to recognize very early in the game that if it's not going in, that's fine. But let's stop trying to force them, and let's then instead go inside and get our buckets inside, because that's what we do. The Lakers are better at going inside and scoring the points in the paint versus shooting three-pointers. So I think the third most important thing that we got to do in the offensive end is play to our strength, man. But now let's go ahead and get it over to the defensive end, because that's going to be a very key part of this series, especially since I think Denver's just a better team than us. So that means that we're going to have to be really locked in on the defensive end. And I want to start by saying the same thing I started when I talked about the game plan, which is there's not much you can do to stop Jokic. There's actually nothing you can do to stop Jokic. But the best way to slow him down, in my opinion, is to force him to be a scorer. And what I mean by that is I would rather Jokic go off for 40 points than have him have a 20-point game, 15 assists, 12 rebounds. He's most dangerous, y'all, when he's getting everybody else involved. So, and I want to give some examples of that. So, like last year in Game 2 of the Finals, which was the only game that the Denver Nuggets lost to the Miami Heat, Jokic had 4 assists, but he went off for 41 points. In fact, to be real, every single game that the Nuggets lost last season in the playoffs, Jokic was forced to be that scorer. I think that teams figure that out, and that's something that we should do. For example, I mean, in Game 4 against the Timberwolves in that first-round matchup, Nikola Jokic had 43 points, 6 assists. Guess what? The Timberwolves won that game. Guess what? The Nuggets went ahead and lost that game because the Timberwolves made Jokic a scorer, only had 6 assists and had 43 points. Or Game 4 in the second-round matchup against the Phoenix Suns, Jokic went off for 43 points, for 53 points. I'm over here trying to butcher his points. I'm trying to take 10 points away from him. My fault, Jokic. In Game 4 of the second-round matchup, Jokic went off for 53 points. You would think they won. Nope, they lost the game, and Jokic had less than 9 assists that game. So what I'm trying to get at here is that the Lakers have to force the Denver Nuggets to make Jokic a scorer. Don't allow him to have those 15 assists plus game, or when he's getting everybody else involved. Y'all see where I'm going, man. So we really gotta force him to be a scorer and pray to God. Pray that God will be on our side. And then also, I do want to talk about this real quick because shout out my boy JJ Redick. He is one of the GOAT mentators. The dude knows his basketball so well. That's where I get a lot of my knowledge from. JJ Redick talked about how we should actually cross match with Jokic. And for those out there that don't know what cross matching is, it's just simply putting your best defender not on that player. So you'd put him as like a roamer. So you put him as like a secondary defender. I think the best example of cross matching is what the Minnesota Timberwolves do. So like they'll have the other team's best player, they'll have Cat guarding him, and then they'll have Rudy Gobert roaming around as that secondary defender, and that's really just to be able to clean up shots at the rim. And granted, I think that's a good idea if you have the roster construction for it. The Lakers, we don't have the roster construction for it. Again, very fault to Genie, very fault to Rob, very fault to the Lakers management going away from what has worked. Because if we had the 2020 roster, we could have had AD as a roamer. We could have put Dwight, or could have put JaVale, or man, we could have even gone and put DeMarcus on Jokic as a primary defender, and then go ahead and let Anthony Davis roam. But we can't do that, and because we don't have that, that's why I believe that we should absolutely not cross match with Jokic. And then for Jamal Murray, y'all, look. It's going to be tough because we already struggle at guarding the perimeter, and he's one of the elite perimeter players in the league right now. But I do think as far as game plan, we should just blitz Jamal Murray on those high pick and rolls, because we already know he's going to get a lot of high pick and rolls. He's going to get some low pick and rolls as well. And I think we should just blitz him, jump at him. And for my folks out there that don't know what blitzing is, and that is to where as soon as Jamal Murray comes off that screen, turns the corner on the screen, both defenders, the one that was guarding the big and the one that was guarding Jamal Murray, just blitzes Jamal Murray. You can think of football, how you blitz the quarterback. You blitz him and you try to force him into an untimely turnover, into some unforced turnovers. That's what you got to do, man. Not really much you can do. There's not really a one player we could put just to be able to combat Jamal Murray, because we don't have perimeter defenders, especially with Vando being out. I do think Gabe Vincent will be able to play a big role in this series, just because he played against Jamal Murray last year in the finals, knows a little bit of his tendencies, but he has been struggling with health all season long. But one thing I definitely do not want to do is I don't want to see Lakers going under any screens on Jamal Murray. We know that the man can shoot. We know that he got a thumper. We know he can release that thing from deep. So we got to fight over every single screen and blitz. Fight over the screen and blitz. Do not go under any screens on Jamal Murray, which that does put pressure on the rest of the guys on the defense to be able to make the right rotations and shift over. But they're NBA players. I trust them to be able to make the right rotations and shift over to the correct spot. But now, y'all, let me go ahead and get into the X factor of this game. Of course, besides LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I mean, I think it's clear that it's D'Angelo Russell, right? I think, in my opinion, he is the third best player that we have on our team. I don't know. Some people may say Austin Reeves. In my opinion, he's our third best player. And when you can get solid contributions from your third best player, from your third guy, that's a game changer. That changes absolutely everything. But it's not even for that reason. It's not even because he's our third best player. He's the X factor of this series. You know why, y'all? Because besides LeBron James, D'Angelo Russell is the only other player on this Lakers team that I actually trust initiating the offense, bringing the ball up court. When I say initiating offense, I don't mean going to get a bucket. Going to get a bucket, I like Austin Reeves. He's a true at heart bucket getter. He's a 2. He's a shooting guard, okay? D'Angelo Russell, he's more of a 1. He's more of a point guard. He's more of the one who initiates the offense, sets up the offense, gets easy buckets for Anthony Davis, gets easy buckets for Rui, gets easy buckets for Hayes. I mean, we see all the time when he runs that Hayes and D'Lo pick and roll. All Hayes got to do is just really set a good pick and roll to the hoop, and you know that D'Angelo Russell is going to be able to find you and initiate that offense. And like I said, when LeBron James is off the court, we need somebody to do that. We need somebody to run the team, run the offense, i.e. exactly what D'Angelo Russell is going to do. And it's so key, y'all. It's so key because LeBron James is 39, okay? I know he's playing like he's 24. I know he's playing out of his mind, but he's 39, and he is more likely to get gassed than he is not to get gas. So I think that we have to have a player who can fill in and not do exactly what LeBron is doing, and maybe not do it to the level that LeBron is doing, but at least do it good enough to where we can not lose the minutes where LeBron is off the court. But if D'Angelo Russell disappears, man, I don't know, man. If D'Angelo Russell disappears, that changes absolutely everything as far as game planning. That changes absolutely everything as far as who our X factor is, man. Because D'Angelo Russell, when he's there and when he shows up, he plays such a big factor for us. Not only is he the third best player, but he's also the only other player we trust outside of LeBron James to initiate the offense. So he lets LeBron get a break. He can not only play that ball handler in the pick and roll, but he can also just play catch and shoot in the corner when LeBron James is in the game. So then that means that D'Angelo Russell, he can have a role and can affect this game really in all assets and all facets and everywhere of this game, man. So that's why I think D'Angelo Russell will be huge for us, and that's why he is our X factor besides LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And y'all, if you made it to this point in this video, congratulations. This is the end of the video, y'all, and here's my predictions. So I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm still a little bit torn between Nuggets in 5 or Nuggets in 6, but I ain't going to lie, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and put them on real quick. Let me put them on. Put on my purple and gold glasses on, and let me say Lakers in 6. Let me say Nuggets in 6. I said Lakers in 6. Let me put my purple and gold shades on and say Nuggets in 6. I do think the Lakers will be able to go ahead and pull 2 games away from the Denver Nuggets, and I think that it will be key that we get it in one of these first 2 home games, whether it be game 1 or game 2. We got to snag that, man, because if we can snag one in Denver, we can definitely snag one in LA, man. So there you have it, Lakers Nation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. This was my quick little series preview on the Lakers versus Nuggets. Hope you guys enjoyed it, man. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Let me know if you guys agree with my game plan, if you guys agree with my X factor. What do you think we should do? Offensively, defensively? Let me know, man. As always, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Make sure to smash that subscribe button. Leave a nice comment down below, and I'll see y'all next video. Deuces.